A very good morning. Today we are going to discuss transfer for benefit of unborn person under Section 13 of Transfer of Property Act. At first, before starting this doctrine, because it is the most complicating doctrine mentioned in the Transfer of Property Act, so we are going to discuss with the meaning of unborn person. There is a famous saying, it is a Latin saying, that en ventre sa mare. Okay, en ventre sa mare. Okay, it means a child in the womb of the mother. So, what is the meaning of unborn person? Remember, in the eyes of law, if we are talking about unborn person who is not in existence, who may born in future, but now that child is not having any kind of existence, even he is not in the womb of the mother. Okay, if I am talking about the great grandson, that great grandson is now unborn person because that son is not in existence. Okay, so unborn person means not at all in existence in the eyes of law. Second thing, when we are talking about the child in the womb of the mother, the different personal laws are having different opinion. Among Hindu, if we are talking about Hindu joint family property, a child in the womb of the mother can ask for his share after birth, or any another person on behalf of that child in womb can file a suit for his or her share in the property if there is a joint Hindu family. Among Muslim law, they are not talking about, they are not having, there is no any kind of no existence of the child in the womb of the mother. The child cannot ask for their share, her or his share in the property. So, child in the womb is a different topic. The child is in existence in the eyes of law. But when we are talking about unborn person, unborn child, it means that child is not at all in existence. He may come in future, he may not come in future. There are two aspects. That's why this is called the double possibilities. There is a rule, there is an English rule but directly not incorporated in our existing law, which is talking about the child which may come in future, which may not come in future. If I am making a will transferring my entire property in the name of my great grandson, that son is not in existence. He may come, he may not come. There are two possibilities. Under English law, it is said that it is called the doctrine of double possibilities. Now, come to the doctrine transfer. There is a transfer of property. Okay, I am making a will, I am gifting a property, I am making a will or any document in any testament in the name of a person who is not in existence. Okay, so at first the transfer for the benefit of unborn person not at all in existence. This is the first thing. Second thing, the section 13 is talking about where on a transfer of property. The first requirement, there must be a transfer by way of sale, mortgage, lease, actionable claim, charge, gift. These are the major things mentioned in the act. And second thing, this doctrine is also applicable to the movable property, which is mentioned in the sale of goods or the special contracts like bailment, pledge. On all of these kinds of transactions, we can apply this doctrine. So, where on a transfer of property, an interest therein is created. The person who is the transferor, he is creating any kind of interest in that property for the benefit of a person not in existence. For the benefit of a person who is not in existence. Here we are talking about unborn person. Okay. Subject to a prior interest. If I am transferring a house in the name of my grandson, it means I am transferring not directly the entire property in the name of unborn person. There must be a person who is now in existence. He may come in existence, he may not come in existence. By that time, who is going to take care of that property? Who is responsible? So that responsible person who can retain that property, who can hold that property, is the prior interest here. Okay, so subject to a prior interest created by the same transfer. Okay, so it is not the complete bare provision which is discussed under section 13. Now, where there is a transfer of property and interest therein is created for the benefit of a person not in existence at the date of transfer, subject to a prior interest created by the same transaction or same transfer, then such transfer shall not take any effect unless it extends to the whole of the remaining interest of the transferor in the property. Okay, there is a property, transfer of property in the name of transfer, in the name of the unbound person, and one prior interest is created therein, and such transfer shall not take effect until and unless it extend to the whole of the interest of the transferor. These are the basic points mentioned in the bare provision. And what does it mean? Now we are going to discuss these points in detail. If first thing, no direct transfer is possible. X, who is in existence, who is alive now, he is having a house, he is the owner of a house, he is willing to transfer the property through a will. His son is alive, who is only 10 years old. Okay, so X is willing to transfer his house to his grandson, who is unborn person now. He is not alive. He is only 10 years old and he is willing to transfer his entire property in the name of the grandson. He may come in existence, he may not come in existence. There are two possibilities. Then it is a document through which he is willing to transfer. If he is transferring through a will, it means it is a gift. Okay, so at first, no direct transfer is possible. He cannot make a will in the name of an unborn person. This is the first rule. If he is willing, he has to create a person. The person is called prior interest. So first thing, no direct transfer is possible because there must be a prior interest. So here, if he is appointing son or his brother, anyone else, he will take care of that house. I am transferring this property through a document. My grandson will be the owner of that property. So now there may be any kind of testament, any kind of document. By that time he comes into existence, the brother can take care of that property. It means that brother is the prior interest. By the time he comes in existence for next 10-20 years, he is going to take care. He is not having an interest in the property. He is having certain responsibilities towards that property. The first thing, no direct transfer is possible. Okay, there must be a prior interest. In case, the second rule, there must be a prior interest. So in this case, the brother was the prior interest. In case of prior interest, if the person who is willing to transfer, the transferor may appoint 1, 2, 3 more prior interest, unlimited, but all should be in existence at the time of transfer. X can make his brother number 1, for 5 years he will take care property. After that, his brother number 2, he will take care after 5 years. Then sister After 10 years, sister will take care for 10 years. Or by the time, if his son, grandson, who is unborn now, he comes into existence, he will take the entire property from the prior interest. So there may be one prior interest, but before the death of the last prior interest, it is mandatory, it is essential that he must come into existence before the death of the last prior interest. So first thing, no direct transfer only through the prior interest. If prior interest, before the death of the prior interest, the unborn person must come into the existence. Then the third rule is talking about absolute transfer. That unborn person must get the absolute interest in the property, no partial transfer. If I am transferring a property, X is transferring, his son is the prior interest, and grandson, who is unborn person, then he cannot make a will or he cannot make a testament like this. His son will take care property by the birth of the grandson. Okay, but he will not entitled to take the entire property. His son is entitled because now there are two unborn person. Okay, he is just getting a partial interest in the property, so it is not allowed. If he is transferring the property, he must get the absolute interest in the property. So this is the thing which is discussed in the act. The unborn person must get an absolute interest in the property. Then before the death of the last prior interest, he must come into the existence, and immediate transfer of rights. Okay, immediate transfer of rights. As soon as unborn person comes into existence, he will acquire all the rights in the property. As soon as he comes, the same thing is mentioned under section 20 of the Transfer of Property Act. As soon as he comes into the existence, he will acquire all the right in the property. And tomorrow we will discuss certain cases, and the leading cases are Girijesh Dutt versus Datadeen. In this regard, under section 13, you must go through the Girijesh Dutt versus Datadeen. This is an important law, important doctrine relating to section 13, which was discussed in this case. And kindly go through section 20 along with section 13. And it is mandatory 13 and 20. We have to go move together. Okay, so it is a complicated one, but it is still prevalent in the society. We make the testament document in the favor of the unborn person, and yes, in the eyes of law, it is allowed. In next class, we will discuss section 14, rule against perpetuity. Now, thank you.